episode of Sleeping Giants, Red Star Belgrade. Now, in our last episode, we were knocked out of the Champions League by Liverpool, but it was just, it was so damn close. It was a nail-biter, and I was gutted for Luka Jovic. Missing that penalty, I mean, you just never know what could have happened. If we're 3-1 up there, going into extra time, momentum, who knows? We could have maybe reached a Champions League semi-final, but it did give us a great deal of confidence. Going into next season, I'm insanely happy, and I think that, you'll be happy too, because we've got £14 million as a transfer budget. That is more like it, folks. Now, the question is whether I can actually spend that. And I haven't gone out looking for any players yet. I'm scouting, but I haven't actually put any bids or anything like that in just yet. So I'm going to wait and do that in the next episode. But, not in the next, you know what I mean? Like, over the time in the next episode. But the one thing that I'm still worried about is, although we've got all this extra money, and obviously we went further in the Champions League this year, which I think is why, if we can't offer players anything in terms of agent fees, because we have literally got our hands tied behind our back on that, then we're not going to be able to spend much of that money, frankly, because most of the players that I want to sign, even players that will sign for us, won't sign because of the agent fees. That's the only thing. Their contracts are fine. The transfer fees are all arranged. They'll come, they'll talk, they'll play, or they'll want to, but it's just the agent fees, and it seems to be a constant problem now that I'm struggling with. So, pardon me. It could cause problems later on, and I'm not entirely sure how we're going to get around that, because the board just don't seem willing to offer any more in agent fees. They're offering me more money to give to them in wages, but there isn't a button for me to request more agent fee money. That is something that I would like to see, perhaps, because otherwise we're just going around in circles a little bit. That being said, it's still been an incredible season, and we've played obviously quite a few games this month, so we're still going to go through them all, because why the hell not? It's the last game, last day of the season. Of course we won the title, but there's not really a big shock there. But we also did win the cup too. I was thinking about doing the cup final, but then we'd just have this one sort of lagging game. I wish the cup final was at the last knockings of the season, the last fixture of the season. But anyway, someone said they wanted me to turn down the highlight speed when I show them, so I will do that, and I'm thinking it might actually improve the because I noticed the video looks a bit jumpy sometimes. I don't know why that is, because it looks fine on mine, and I think it's just because I record in 30 FPS, because this, it's unnecessary to do it 60 FPS for Football Manager, really, because most of it isn't that, you know what I mean. So we start off the month against Radnik Sedulika, and Ristic's ball, wonderfully whipped in, cleared away, comes back to him, and sorry, I've played quite a few games this month, as you can tell, so there's probably quite a few things to go through. Mladost eventually drops it short here, and it goes, and it's cleared away again. Sorry, this was much, much earlier in the month. We've been incredibly strong defensively this month, just to an almost absurd level. I wanted to make sure that we ramped up the league, and it was a great goal from Savicevic, who has had an absolutely stonking month himself, making it 1-0 to Red Star there on 15 minutes. And obviously Radnik, they've got one of the good scorers in the league, but he just had no impact on us whatsoever in this game. Ristic again with the free kick, played it forward. Mladost with a lovely touch there and a great finish to add onto the pile for himself. Only his 10th goal of the season, though. I'm a little bit disappointed in that, actually. He's not really been injured. He has played a fair amount of games. I'm just a little bit disappointed with the overall number of goals he's scored for us this year. I was expecting more out of him, from him this year, I must say. Savicevic has certainly filled the gap, though, I have to say. Just as well we have Savicevic, because if we didn't, I think we've got serious problems. It's nice to see Florentin Toshka really is starting to announce himself on the team now. In fact, I think he scores a great goal in this one. Adamenko's ball in... Oh, no, sorry, apologies. Toska's header is then turned into the net by Milan Gajic for his 9th goal of the season, and that was a comfortable win for us, and a win which we deserved, and a clean sheet, importantly. In our next game, we of course had the return leg of the cup against Spartak, and we absolutely thumped them in terms of shots and just about everything in this game. Milan Gajic was superb. This was one of these ones that I thought could get away from them. In the end, it didn't. I mean, 30 minutes in, Gajic does well here, comes to Jovic, back to Gajic, and just drills it into the back of the net nice and early. He's had a good month. Not good month. He's had a good little spell in the team, basically, this month. Or this patch of games, essentially. Made it 1-0, but then very, very quickly after that, it got a lot worse for them. Ristic's ball in here, and Lazic at the far post to make it 2-0. All good, and from that point, I was pretty confident. I didn't want to change it to defensive too early, so eventually, straight from the kickoff, basically, we ended up making it 3, and at that point, it was, game over, tie over, we're in the cup final, no big surprises there. Bajic and Stankovic are still sharing the the goalkeeping duties, because, I do want to give them both a chance to develop, and they have done an incredibly good job in net for us today. I must say, goalkeeping mistakes have been at a minimum this season, which is a thing I've very rarely said on FM this year, but it might just be because we're conceding so few shots often, especially in the league. Mladost with the ball here, drops it into the channel. Gajic picks it up, and a lovely little finish there around the corner to make it 3-0 on 22 minutes. I then decided to just try and keep a clean sheet. Unfortunately, this time we weren't able to do it, and they did actually get one back, and I have to say it was a great goal. I think it was Klikovac or Kilkovac. Apologies, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. We'll see it in a second. It's just a good ball over the top, which they've been looking for all game, but just hadn't quite managed to pick it out. But eventually the ball is going to get played into that space, and eventually. Here we go. It's a great top corner. Hang on, who is it? Klikovac. Making it 3-1, but no biggie. Nothing really that important to say there. Borac, of course. Now, we then started on an amazing run of games, basically. Having beaten Radnik Sadulika 3-0 in the league, we came at home to Borac, who are a decent side, but them look very, very ordinary. Home and away, basically, this month, we've been incredible. Lovely interception, not interception, Savic there. Lovely ball back from Cernic, and Nenad Gavric, making a rare appearance, scored his 4th goal of the season. So he's made a few appearances this year, and he is an important player just to have around. I'm not entirely sure if I'll extend the contract or not yet. Jovic then had a penalty save, but put the rebound in to make it 2-0, and we were 2-0 up after 16 minutes. So I thought, well, let's do it. Let's defend a little bit and just try to keep the clean sheet, basically. And we can score even when we play on our defensive strategy. That's the wonderful thing about this team. Terrible attempt to defend there, Milicic, and it just ends up getting bashed over the line in the end by Vukan Savic for his 23rd goal of the season. For an inside forward, playing out on that right-hand side, he has been incredible. He's just the perfect player for that role. I don't know what was happening there. Antic Adamenko working it out wide to Fedzic, back to Antic. Eventually it's spread into the middle. Georgie P has got a lot more football this year. He's very tall, isn't he? Ball down to the channel. Antic flicks it in here, and Toshka, what about that for a finish? In off the crossbar to make it 3-0 there. No, 4-0, oh sorry. They had a man sent off as well, but it was another clean sheet in the league. 2 in a row for us it was, and that's what we needed to see. 2 clean sheets in a row, 7 goals scored without reply. You can't ask more than that. And in our next game, we travelled this time to Mladost and basically did the exact same thing. They didn't even get a shot on target in this one. And for me, just 3 consecutive clean sheets in the league was superb. I said I wanted to concede under 20 goals this season. Well, I think that's pretty much going to be a given now. Savic with another goal there for his 24th of the year, made it 1-0, but it was just to see how good we could be defensively if we try. Next year, I want to see if we can concede under 15 goals. Ball in here again. Bazan Vera with the big header, but just terrible defending from Mladost. So it's his 4th goal of the year from the big Argentine. Fully fledged Argentine international, I should also point out. That is pretty damn impressive, I have to say. I thought they were going to get on back here, but, it's us we're talking about. Savic gets the ball here, and this lad can pick a pass, drills it down to Luka Jovic, who, just takes on his man, basically. Eventually, they see someone at the back post, and I think it's Milan Gajic, whipped in, and Gajic getting in there to make it 3-0 off the counter-attack there with his 12th goal of the season. So both of our inside forwards have actually got more goals than Milicic, which is a little bit strange, considering he got 20-odd for us last year. It does seem that this year the goals have come from slightly different areas, but I'm not knocking it. It's happening. Plus I think the rise of Florentin Toshka has been quite impressive as well. He may have only got 6 goals for us this year, but it took him a little while to get that monkey off of his back. Then he got that goal against Arsenal, and in this year, in 2020, he's been absolutely spectacular. When he's come on, he's done well for us, and I'm really pleased with his development so far. We've got a lot of other players in development still, of course, and obviously in the summer I will still look to see if I can bring in any other Serbian talents. I might look to some of the players that we potentially sold earlier in the save. People like Rajkovic, the goalie. I know we've got good goalies, but he's a better goalie, and I'm just wondering, bringing in these Serbian players is just going to give us that little bit more freedom when it comes to options in the league, and that's what we kind of need. It's all very well bringing those other players through in Europe, but we can only play a certain number of them, and that is kind of going to be problematic for us. So, then, we were away at Novi Pazar, and would you believe it? We did the exact same thing again. Another 4-0 win. This was just mental. Bear in mind, this is our 4th clean sheet, and during that time, we've scored 15 goals and not conceded a single one in the league, and that was starting to take things to a whole new level. Interesting kit decision going on here with the red. I will be working on the new kits after this, and it was again poor there. Savic putting on the rebound after a relatively poor goalkeeping off of the Chufedzi save. But yeah, I'll be working on the new kits after this episode is done, so we should have some new ones for next season. Ristic with a wonderful free kick then made it 2-0, and I literally went straight onto defensive after that. 2-0 up, thinking, why the hell not? Let's see if we can get ourselves another clean sheet. And it works, frankly. Yeah, we might not score 7 and 8s, but we are completely defensively solid. And I think I like playing this tactic, the defensive tactic, when we go into these positions, because we're still capable of scoring goals with the tactic, as you can see. We're scoring 2 and 3 goals with the tactic on. Great determination there from Tufezic. Gavric comes inside and drills it low to the bottom corner, and it's just nice. Because I think it's preparing us more for the European games where we're going to have to be more defensive, and we need to get better at playing this style of football. And it's great to see that we're actually capable of doing that. Personally, I think we're going to try and build a really strong defensive foundation, and that's kind of what I want to do. I want to try and eventually, at some point in this save, obviously have an unbeaten season. And this year it looks like we're going to have lost one game, which is disappointing, as Savicevic smashes in yet another goal. This time I think it's his 25th or 26th goal of the season. 26th this one was. But yeah, I want to have a season where we go unbeaten and concede less than 10 goals in the league. It's going to be tough to get that kind of result, but you never know. Then, away at Partizan, let me just repeat that, away at Partizan Belgrade, FK Partizan, we won 4-0 again. So that was 4 successive 4-0 wins, with a 3-0 on the start of it as well, just to remember that. So 19 goals scored in the league without reply, 5 consecutive clean sheets. We were really starting to just gain a level of competency with this type of play that I was just not used to. Adamenko again, when he gets this position, you just know something's coming. Gajic with the big header there on 3 minutes. And literally, I was tempted to go defensive at that point just to see what we could do and hope that it worked, basically. I decided not to in the end. I wanted to wait a little bit, but it didn't take much longer until we were 2 goals to the good. 15 minutes into the game, Ristic with the ball in here. Gajic drops it short. It's going to come back to him eventually with the ball through from Ristic. Gajic with his 2nd goal of the match. He was injured at this point. I had got the substitution ready, but he didn't come off until after. As you can see, he's walking to the bench now. And then... okay, so he's also Michael Jackson. That's interesting. Lovely little bit of dancing there. So I put it on defensive at this point, and look at this for composure and passing, just knocking the ball around in their penalty area with consummate ease. Tosca getting the assist, Gavric getting the goal for 3-0, and at this point we're playing defensively, but it is making absolutely no difference to our attacking threat. We're still capable of scoring goals, we just look much, much tighter at the back, and the same thing can be said about our 4th goal. Just some lovely passing, like lots of, not quite one-touch stuff, but this one, just... I don't know, we just look so good with it. So Savicevic drops it back, and Luka Jovic smashes in number 4 with 8 minutes to go. I kind of wanted to get a 5th, but I tell you what, a 6-0 aggregate win over Partizan in the league this year. They've not scored a goal past us, and they've scored 2 own goals, so that's always good as well. In our next game... Sorry, this is going on for quite a while. We've had quite a few games to talk about. I did consider doing the Partizan game as a live com, but then I kind of wanted to see what you guys thought of just me doing the whole rest of the season there in one episode. Obviously, if we don't get through to the knockout stages of the Champions League next year, I won't be doing the whole second half of the season in one episode, of course, but... yeah, that's basically just because the amount of games. I figured, should I put it in 2 episodes, or should I just go for 1 and get it done so we can get into the next season? In our next game, we were at home to Jagodina. Bear in mind, these guys are 2nd in the league. And again, we embarrassed them. It wasn't quite such the drubbing that we'd seen before, but next, as you can see, another clean sheet. 6 clean sheets in a row in the league. 21 goals scored without reply. Militic this time was the man with the goal. I think Jovic took the assist on this one. And once we went in front, I just said, right, no, defend, just go for it. And then, of course, they got a red card. It was involved in the penalty incident, but it was actually, I believe, a second... I think it was a second yellow card. Jovic actually misses the initial penalty, but then puts in the rebound and makes it... Oh, no, it wasn't a second yellow card. It was a straight red, what we're talking about. Yeah. Made it 2-0. Kept a clean sheet again, which then made it, of course, 6 clean sheets in a row, 21 goals scored without reply. And in our next game, we went to Cukaricki, and they're 3rd place in the league. So I haven't been able to play much of the youngsters, because I did want to see how far we could take this defensive record. I'm going to play youngsters today, though, because we were playing the good sides. We ended up playing Partizan, Jagodina and Cukaricki in successive matches, and those are the sort of matches I wanted to try the youth out, but at the same time I didn't want to get battered in them because we played the youth against some of the better sides in this league. This was a really strange one against Cukaricki. It kind of swung massively. So 24 minutes into that, we didn't start that well at all here. We were actually quite poor from the get-go. Mandic was pretty decent. Ball played over the top, but it was just woeful defending here. I don't know what happened. Like to lose your 6-game defensive solidity with that kind of... Why is Bazan Vera clapping? Mate, you just conceded an idiotic goal. You bellend. But, it happened. Then, 10 minutes later, we actually found ourselves in a real problem. I was starting to worry that we might actually lose this one. You know, when you go 2-0 down away from home at a team that actually are fairly decent for this league. Markovic here, ball inside the channel, and Mandic, lovely finish from him. 2 goals for him, 2-0 Cukaricki, and you're thinking, oh dear. But then, luckily, their goalkeeper had, I would say a clanger, but they live on the moon, and this guy could probably move there because no one will be able to find him and punish him, because it was just awful. Just awful. I think... Yeah, basically he's going to keep this, and you think, right, okay, terrible. Well, not terrible, it was a good effort, but then watch what he does here. Drops the ball. Oh no, wait, what the hell? Oh, sorry, it's going to be a stupidly long highlight. Apologies for this, guys. Eventually, the ball is going to end up back with their goalkeeper again. Here we go. Up to Jovic. Jovic will then, in theory, slide it out to Savicevic, who will then knock it back across. Oh no, it goes to Adamenko, who will try to put the ball in, and it's Milicic, and then it's saved again by Pajovic. And I was thinking, right, so where's the actual highlight? Well, this is the highlight. He drops the ball, kicks it against Luka Jovic, and it goes in the back of the net. This didn't count as a clear-cut chance, by the way. I don't know how, but there you go. So it was 2-1 just before half-time. Then they got a red card, and we got a penalty. Jovic dispatches it. Oh, that was the one with the second yellow card. Apologies. 2-2 then on 53 minutes. We've, you know, got an extra man now and lots of time to burn, basically. I thought if we don't win this now, I'd be disappointed. And we just, I mean, Milicic here drops it Kroos and Savicevic. Who else? Smashing it into the back of the net for number 27 of the season for an inside forward. That is absurd. It's a shame we don't still have the likes of Mark Rakowski, really. He would have been phenomenal in this kind of game. Not long after that, though, things got even worse for Cukaricki as we tore them apart once they were a man down and we had all the space in the world. Tufedzic this time drops it back out to Antic. A relatively poor ball, but Antic always finds a way to play a pass here. Comes into Gajic, just has a little run. Great effort from him. I didn't think he was going to shoot himself, but he did in the end, and it's his 15th goal of the season. He's been great over the last few matches of the season. He's just been wonderful. And of course, it wasn't an end there. Oh no. Ristic's ball out to the edge of the area. Pesic there gets taken out, but it comes back to Ristic, of course. Whips it in, cleared away again. This time, Antic wins it. Oh, I think this is one with a really nice swift pass in between them. Everybody's sort of getting involved here. Kone, Pia, Tufedzic, Gajic, round the corner. Jovic takes a touch and smash. And it was 5-2 then. 5-2 against Cukaricki. I mean, we conceded twice, which was disappointing, but still, we won. Then we played them in the cup final, and this was a bit of a humdinger as well. They've actually given us a couple of good games lately. Again, we couldn't keep a clean sheet against them in this one either. 11 minutes into the game, Nemanja Milosevic or Milojevic, I can't remember. It was I thought it was going to be one of those irritating ones, but I don't know what my keeper's doing there. It was Milojevic. Just terrible goalkeeping from Stankovic. Like, a lot of the goals we conceded have still come down to those irritating errors, but it happens, you know. Thankfully, 1-0 down in the cup final, I was beginning to wonder that if we, after all that, winning all those league games and dominating everything, if we were to lose the cup final like this, I'd be very disappointed, especially straight off the back of a 5-2 victory away at the team you're playing in the cup final, albeit the 10 men. So I knew they were going to be tough, and we managed to come through this one. Took a bit of work, though, I have to say. Again, some really poor passing in this game, but Pia's ball over the top. What about this for Luka Jovic just doing what he does, comes inside, skips inside, little toe poach goal to make it 1-1. And that was our first real chance of the game. Second half was a bit different. We changed a few tactics at half-time, switched things up again, went a bit more attacking, and then in the 80th minute, Antic's ball out to the edge of the area. Florentin Tosca, what a strike that is. But wait, he's got better. Oh yes, watch this for a hit. Bang, off the crossbar, bounces up in the air, and Jovic with the big header to make it 2-1. I shoved it immediately on defensive, and we saw out the rest of the game. Jovic now has 39 goals this season in all competitions. He's broken the league's goal-scoring record as well with 24 now, which was previously held by Skepovic. Right, so that brings us to today against Proletar Novi Sad. We are going to play a weekend side just to show some of the kids some of these players off. So top goal scorer Luka Jovic, 39 goals in 43 matches. That is an unbelievable amount of goals. Savicevic with 27 is also bloody brilliant. Gajic with 50, and as you can see in there, Milicic with 11. And Toshka's got 6, which is not bad. I'm fairly pleased with that. Assist wise, Milicic is top though with 14, which is good. Jovic has 13. Adamenko also has 13. Player of the match, Savicevic with 11, which is quality. He also broke a record for that. Bazan Vera and Tufedzic are both suspended for this game anyway, so we're missing quite a few players. No red cards at all this year. Interesting. I guess Castanas hasn't been a naughty boy. Average rating, Stefanovic has done well when he's played, but it's got to be Savicevic. Aerial challenges, Jovic is right up there with 62. It's pretty damn impressive. Milicic has got the most. Ristic has really not been at it this year with his key passes, which is surprising. Key tackles, Pazar with 39. Look at how, out of a season where we've played 43 matches, he's only made 39 key tackles. That's insane. Interceptions, 423 for Pazar. Most valuable player is Jovic, just in behind is Pazar. Mistakes leading to goals is Pazar as well. He and Lazic have made a few mistakes, I'm guessing mostly in Europe. Now, I was going to do a squad report in today's episode, but I think it might be better if we do that in the next episode or one after, just because I don't want this episode to go on for too long. And it obviously will do a little bit if we play in this match. So pick rotated squad, full rotation. Who have we got? I will keep Jovic in, actually. There's a lot of players that aren't available. Karaklic, Zivkovic, Ozdoev, Brankovic, Stefanovic, Rasic, Lazic, Alemenko, Bajic. Belic is... I'm going to put Pesic in. He is a striker. It's not there yet, and I don't know whether he ever will be. Well, actually, he's not too bad. We'll bring him in. Anyone else that I'm potentially thinking about? No, we'll stick with that for now. Oh, what the hell have I done now? Oh, actually, there you go. I forgot to show you the league. That's how the league's shaping up at the moment. The other teams have all played. Partizan have qualified for the Europa League. Only just, though. Again, they've come 5th. Again. Jovic is the top scorer. Proletar, Novi, Sad, and Metalac are relegated. Vozdovac are going to be in the playoff, and just in case you were interested, coming up this year is OFK. They finally got themselves back to the top flight, and FK India are going back up, and Bazania are in the playoffs, so that's an interesting one. Let's submit the team and go into the game. I just need to change a few things around, because I don't like having the highlight speed on that during the matches, because it just makes them a little too slow. I couldn't bear to watch it. I'd like to finish the season off with 83 points, which would mean that from an entire season there was 90 points available. If we win here, we'll take literally 83 from 90, which is an incredible amount of points. Just a stupid amount. I don't think we're ever going to get close to beating that until such time as we can probably win every single game, maybe. That's sort of the challenge, basically. But, you know, if we could get 27 wins out of 30 games in the league, it'd be pretty impressive. Karaklic and Zivkovic, ooh, a few chances there. The reason that I was not bothered about taking out Jovic is because I do want to see if he can get his 40th goal of the season, and he has. There we go. 40 goals in one season for Luka Jovic. He still has a long way to go to sort of, not a long way to go, but to actually compete with the amazingness of King Norman Millington on the Pompey side. But then Millington plays a lot more matches. That's what I would say. It's almost like 50, whereas Jovic is doing this in sort of 45 matches. So, hey, you never know. He could maybe score a hat-trick today, and it won't make any difference. Magomed Ozdoev, he'll probably be off in the summer. Kruden Krasnodar want him, and I'd be more than happy to let them have him, frankly. Oh dear, we're not looking too good here in terms of options. What else have we got? Zivkovic and... Okay, so we're going to swap that around. It's not ideal, but we're going to give Pantovic a chance to play. Being outnumbered, apparently, guys. You heard it here first. Then again, we've not exactly been brilliant in the opening stages here, but we're winning the game, and that's all that really matters. I've never seen Rasic before, so I don't know whether he's any good or not. Jovic, surely he's offside here. Oh, wow. Oh, dearie me. Horrible defending. Oh, so why is it... God damn it. I thought he was offside. He must have been offside. He was... Yeah. Nice vision, though, from Rasic to actually pick a pass, and it was an incredibly well-weighted ball, I've got to say. And Jovic proving his quality again with a lovely finish. Goalkeeper was in no man's land, though, that has to be said. So, decent play all round there. We could probably do with getting ourselves another... Actually, I'll tell you what, guys. Let's just have a little bit of fun. Let's throw it on overload and go shoot on sight, take more risks, and just have a little go. See how many goals we can actually get against this side with this sort of weakened bunch, and it will give Jovic potentially more opportunities if we're bombing forward all the time. I feel like we've probably got enough in the tank to beat this lot with what we have. That being said, first half performance, 1 shot on target, and that was our goal. Oh, hang on, wait. Lazic, oh, what a save. Not entirely sure how he's missed that, actually, but hey, he has. So 1-0 at half time. Not the best first half performance, but then again, it's a weakened team. But it shows you how good we've got in terms of backups. You know, if our weakened sides are now beating... I mean, albeit these guys are relegated from the league and have come bottom, and I guess you could argue that we're taking the piss a little bit, but, you know, I want to try out some of the youth players. It's the last day of the season. We're champions. We've done the treble, if you count the community, not the Community Shield, the Serbian Super Cup, which apparently the game does. Then, hey, let's go for it. We've been in control, and hopefully we'll grab a second goal at some point in this second half, just to make sure there's no surprises. Luka, I tell you what, he could shoot here. Great tackle from Brankovic. That's a really... Oh, actually, I was going to say it's a poor ball, but the defenders got all tied in knots there. Jovic goes past a couple of them, and it's a poor effort in the end from the big man. I would like a second goal, just so I can feel a bit more comfortable about the style of football we're playing here. Pesic to Jovic, and it's a... Pesic needs to be stronger in those areas. Needs to get to that ball first. There's going to be a little bit of space, and Rasic has made the good tackle. And again, we've not been first to the ball. We've won it again. Rasic this time whips it out wide to Cukaricki, who might again be off in the summer, just because I can't appease him, so to speak. Jovic, Pantovic with a chance here. Surely not. Oh, and Dusan Pantovic there with an opportunity to score his first ever goal. That would have been a good chance. That's another one of the reasons why I like playing some of the youngsters in these games, because it gives them a chance to get their first goals and appearances and assists, and I think that really does a lot for the team. Pesic with the header, no, not quite. Adamenko around the corner for Cukaricki. Now, surely he can pick a pass out. Pantovic, and again it's Jovic that will actually end up putting that over the line, I think. Yep, 41st goal of the season. He has David Nugented him there. Anyone who, you know what I'm talking about, when David Nugent nicked that one off the line from Jermaine Defoe in that England game. He's given him the Nuge. Good header from Pantovic. Well saved by the goalkeeper onto the post. It might not... Oh, it was definitely bouncing in, wasn't it? But Jovic has just nicked his 41st goal of the season. You can't deny him that. One more, maybe a couple more. Can he equal Millington's record from our Portsmouth save? Is that something? It's unlikely. If he gets 2 more, which, well, I suppose he could do. I'm going to leave him on for the full 90, just to see if he's capable of it. And win your header. There we go. Rasic has actually done a very good job today. I've been impressed with him. Brankovic hasn't been bad either. We've got a lot of quality defenders, and some of them are clearly from our Serbian ranks, and that all around the corner for Pantovic. Surely now, yes, there you go. Dusan Pantovic, the youngster, goal on his debut. Nice. First ever senior goal for him. He's come on as a substitute in the first half. Nice little setup by Jovic. I thought he didn't see him, but then, oh yes, he did. Again, the goalkeeping was terrible. He's basically put that in his own net. But it's just nice to see someone like Pantovic getting himself a goal. Right. I'll make a substitution around about 70, I think, just to start things off. Oh, there's another highlight there. Who should we bring on? I'll tell you who we're going to bring on. We're going to bring on a Mehmedovic. He's banging on at me constantly about not getting enough game time, but he's just not that good at the moment, unfortunately, and I don't know how far he's going to go with that. I'd like to keep, as much as I'd like to keep a clean sheet today, I'm not overly bothered. All over the top. Jovic is in here. Can he get another hat-trick? Comes inside his man. Oh, and Belic makes the save. Good chance. Well-worked effort, but maybe should have done a little bit better with that one. It'd be nice to see Mehmedovic get himself a goal, but Jovic does seem to have total control of the goal fund in this particular game. He's going to shoot from long range, isn't he? Luca. Deary me, mate. I know you're trying to score the hat-trick here, but let's not get silly. It's amazing. We're winning 3-0 here with a sort of suicidally overloading tactic, basically. But that just shows you how strong a squad we have. I think that's a pleasant thing to see. I think that we can get away with using our weakened teams more. Oh, dear. Oh, wow. That was lucky. We got away with that one. I think we can get away with using our weakened side more next year, which I think is going to be good because it's going to give us more resting periods for the important Champions League games. And I think the resting periods that I used for the way we've played, especially in front before home games, I think has been absolutely crucial to come into that fully rested when perhaps the sides from the bigger leagues, like, oh, what a hit. Whew, okay, fair enough. No, they deserve that. Bojljevic, brilliant. Basically, that's an amazing goal. It started out so far outside the goal that I couldn't imagine that going in. He's completely That being said, keeper got across there pretty fucking quickly and didn't really, Oh, maybe something straight off kickoff? I would like to see Jovic complete a hat-trick on the last day of the season just to wrap up the year with... oh dear, that was a bit poor. Wrap up the season with a sort of decent... Oh, don't let him score another one, that'd be a bit silly. Good save again from Bajic. We've given them a few chances towards the end of this game, but I imagine this sort of as the overload tactic is going to start to wear on them a little bit. They're going to get a bit knackered probably by it. But it was just worthwhile to see if we could get a few more goals. Round the corner for Jovic, skips inside. He's not going to be able to shoot from there. He has shot from there anyway. It's going to be swept up here by Adamenko. Now, we're going to have to do our best, of course, in the summer to try and appease people like Adamenko and Bazan Vera and Jovic, because obviously we're going to get the usual massive bids from the likes of Monaco, Real Madrid, PSG, like last summer. But again, no one's offered us any real money for them. That's the thing. They want, I think the most I could get for Adamenko was 4 million. I'm sorry. Offer me some actual money and I might be interested. I wouldn't let him go for anything under about 25 million, I don't think. And Jovic is probably worth about 40, for me anyway. I'm not saying he's worth that in the game. I'm saying that that's how much I'd sell him for, potentially. But then again, if we got 40 million pounds, what difference would that make for us? I'm not sure that would make any difference because the board wouldn't let me sign anyone with it, would they? They just... give me a transfer budget of £30 million and let me offer like agent fees of like 10 grand or something. Well, that's a good touch. Round the corner for Cavo. Ooh, okay. Fair play to them. They've come back at us, and oh, he's offside. Okay. It does look like we're going to get the win. Shame about the no clean sheet, but yeah, I think that's the problem. If we were to get a huge amount of money for one of our players, we wouldn't be able to reinvest it properly. We'd just have a massive transfer fund and nobody to spend it on. But I'm going to do my best in the summer to actually sign a couple of players to strengthen us. I'm going to look into Serbian players that are already sort of decent, basically, because we've got enough money to maybe entice them in now. Sort of joining from big sides kind of thing. That's what I'm looking at. Or maybe sort of a former Serbian great. People like... I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but I'm sure they're out there. To see if maybe we can entice them back to Serbia to play. I don't know. It's just the agent fees is always going to be the problem, I think. But maybe they've changed it. You know, never know. In the summer, why are we seeing this? There's no goal. You know, maybe the extra money we've got this year will enable me to offer more in agent fees. Maybe it won't be so bad next summer. And if that is the case, then I'm going to go straight after that lad from Wolfsburg that I was on about, because he looks to be a quality player, I think. And he's still young enough for me to be able to get him for a decent amount of money, basically, for a couple of million. And he's Serbian. That's the key thing here. I'm trying to find our best Serbian players. Jovic has done well, though. Man of the match, deservedly so. 2 goals and an assist for him. Well done, Luka. Right, so there we go. Top of the league. 83 points, 1 defeat, 2 draws, and 27 wins from a season. We finished the season 22 points clear at the top, and 33 points clear of Partizan. That's got to be one of the biggest. I don't know exactly like what we did in terms of league form over the last couple of seasons. I'm just going to take a little look and see how much we've won it by. So last year, I tell you what, we did pretty decent. Last year we got 77 points, which is not bad, and Partizan did a lot worse. We actually were 31 points clear of them last year too, but yeah, 30 goals conceded though last year. That's the difference. Today it was this season 16 goals conceded. Not bad. 77 points though isn't bad. Obviously the season before that we were less dominant and only got 69 points and actually conceded 31 goals, which isn't too bad either. Season before that, 79 points is not bad either. That was the year we scored the ridiculous amount of goals though, wasn't it? 11 against Radnik, Jesus. Still 30 goals conceded that year wasn't too bad either, and just the 1 defeat there too. 79 points, 73 points, 64 points. I think that was the first season we managed to get 64 points. We still won the league though. Right, so guys, that will do it for this episode and for this season. I will do a squad report, I promise, but it didn't. If I do one now, this episode is going to end up being like 40 minutes long, and we don't want that. So I will promise to either do it in the next episode, but if that's going to be too long, I'll probably do it in the one after that. So guys, if you like what you're seeing, please feel free to drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I'll see you guys in the next episode for our first Champions League game. I don't know what round it's going to be in or whatever. We should have some players to talk about, and hopefully next year we can try and do an unbeaten season in the league. We've come so close, but we just need to really push it over the line. So I'll see you guys in the next season. Bye-bye.